Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as the Torah scrolls are entering the synagogue. Tekiah! Shivarim! Teruah! Tekiah Gdolah! Tekiah! Teruah! Shivarim! Tekiah Gdolah! Wait, hold on. Okay, had to do a selfie. That looks amazing. Those who carried in the Torah scrolls are our Living Legacy Committee, to who we are so grateful for everything that they have done to help in this wonderful moment, to bringing us here. Those who stand here: Danny Evans, Jill Weinthal, Matt Cohen, Dave Silberfarb, Fabian Rangoza, I was going to get that, and Octavio, hang on. I knew I was going to, see, I just know them as, there we go, thank you, Montanez. I only know them as Octavio and Fabian, honestly. You were our first responders. It was because of you that our Torah scrolls came out of our building right after the fire and made sure that they were safe. Okay. And now you have safely returned them here to the Ark. They're home, and we're home. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Alan and Sandy Feinberg Family Sanctuary. And Sandy right there, and Alan of blessed memory. So let us join together. Hopefully you have your booklets here. In the spirit of the ladder, and we had one here, that links heaven and earth, we have come together to dedicate this sanctuary for our community. Through our words and deeds as individuals and as a community, may we make this place a true sanctuary. Let us affirm that our sanctuary will be a Beit Tefillah, a house of prayer. Here we shall come to examine what we are in light of what we should be, aware that it is the Holy One of Israel before whom we stand. Here we shall offer the service of heart in praise of God for all life's blessing. Here we shall renew our faith, seeking comfort and strength. Here we shall learn who we are and how we came to be. Here we shall seek a glimpse of our destiny. Through knowledge and practice of our tradition, we shall transform a gathering of Jews into a Jewish community, transmitting our tradition with love to the generations that follow. Let us affirm that our sanctuary will be a Beit Knesset, a house of assembly. Here we shall share joy and sorrow. May none of us live in isolation. For as a community, we have a brit, a covenant with God. Here we shall maintain that covenant together. Our God and God of our ancestors, with joy and gratitude, we dedicate this sanctuary to you. May we be wholehearted in revering you, O God. Remove from us all that is hateful and bring us near to all that you love. May we never be guilty of affirming you in the sanctuary only to deny you elsewhere. May our search for holiness continue morning and evening, all the days of our lives. In this awareness, we pray that we may be blessed with the sense of God's presence in our sanctuary. We find God's presence in the words of Torah. Torah has given life to our people, as it is written. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. We bring these, our congregation's Torah scrolls, to this renewed sanctuary and place them in this holy ark. In doing so, we make this place holy, filling it with our people's life and connection to the Holy One. Together, may we be worthy to remember this moment We are here not merely to dedicate stone and metal, wood and plaster. We are here to rededicate ourselves to the ancient visions which are awaiting the commitment of our lives. We move from mystery to commandment, from unaware witness to embodiment of purpose. We are part of the unfolding creation of the world which links us with the eternal as we move through depths of past existence into the future of inspired life. With dedication, we respond to the call that generates from the source of our redemption, that resonates along the pathways of our prayers. Please be seated. In just a second, we'll close the ark doors. Mwah. Mwah. Close the ark doors. We are grateful to have our adult choir joining us right now. Hine matovu manaim, how truly wonderful it is for us to be together. Thank you, Cantor Reinwald and our choir. We are grateful for your voices, and we look forward to sharing those voices in 2 weeks. How wonderful it is to be back in this space together. As we entered onto the property, we had all 6 scrolls. Many of you were out there with us. I have feedback. Oops. Hang on. There we go. Just in case. When we entered onto the property, each Torah scroll was accompanied by a chuppah. And it was wonderful because these chuppot were created by all of our Camp Shalom kids over the summer. And so it was wonderful to have their drawings there. And later on, they're still outside. If you want to see them, please definitely take a look at them. And trust me, we'll be keeping them around here as well. So we made it around this property, and here we are in this wonderful space. And so we turn to the next page with reading number 2. God, where are you? Where do I find you? Where do you live? You have no address. The universe is filled with your glory. You live in every mountain and in every valley and on the busy boulevard outside. You live in the beautiful riot of many colors of the last gasp of summer, and you live in my soul. You have no need for an earthly address, and yet we have built for you a special building, beautiful, dignified, majestic, intimate, warm, and friendly. For whom then did we build it? For you and us, for our conversations together, for your glory, God, and for our humble need. We could be talking to you when we see you in the beautiful sunrise, when we see you in the innocent smile of a child, when we see you in a person's kind deed. But we forget, so we built this building. We came here and remembered to talk to you. With the psalmist, we say the Ma Tovu. Through your abundant kindness, I come into your house. Reverently, I worship you in your holy sanctuary. I love the habitation of your house, the place where your glory dwells. There are many children who are here who were part of Camp Shalom and Camp Shalom Katan. There is a song that you all have been singing all summer long. So I invite all of our children to come forward for Kehila Kedosha. Come on up, right up on this side. There you go. All of our children to come and sing Kehila Kedosha. Don't worry. If you bring your booklets up, you've got the words, but also Cantor has them too. Go right over there, guys, onto this side, right over here. Ready? Okay, there you go. Because the song Kehila Kedosha is about a holy community. Where are you guys? They just want to do the ramp. They're like, ooh, there's a ramp. Keep going. Spread. There you go. You guys want the microphones over there. Trust me. Keep going down. Keep going over there. There you go. All the way. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Tall ones in the back. I've even got some of the counselors up here. Miles, are you going to sing for us, Kehila Kedosha? Yay! All right, all the way over there, guys. If you need some lyrics, hi. This song, as they're coming up, is written by Dan Nichols, who is an amazing Jewish rock star. A Jewish musician who's more than just a rock star. He is truly a wonderful teacher and inspiration. Dan Nichols will actually be joining us in January for a whole weekend of spending Shabbat with us, of doing a concert with us, of doing learning with us. So we're very fortunate to have him joining us in January, and I really look forward to him hearing our youth sing this. You all, our youth, there you go. You all are our future. You hold the wonderful Jewish world in your hands. And you all are a part of a Kehila Kedosha, a holy congregation. So with that, if you will please join with Cantor Reinwald in our song, Kehila Kedosha. You are a tent. Pastor Cook, guys, take a bow. There you go. You guys may go back down to your seats. Thank you. There you go. Hi. As the words say, each one of us must play the part. Each one of us must heed that call. Each one of us must seek the truth. Each one of us is a part of it all. Each one of us must remember the pain. Each one of us must find the joy. And we truly find the joy in our children. So February 15th, 6 o'clock in the morning, a 2-year-old freezer, well, you know the rest of that story. And we started to scramble. Fortunately, we didn't have a bar bat mitzvah that morning in this space. And amazingly, we, as you will hear later, we didn't miss a beat with our mitzvah meals, thanks to Parties by Panache. We called out, we reached out to our community, and we said, help, because what were we going to do for the next Shabbat? What were we going to do in the weeks ahead? We had no idea how much time this would take. And when we reached out to our community, they all said, let us help, we're here. What can we do? And I also got in touch with Tom Thorkelson and said, hey, somebody mentioned maybe I should contact the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. Maybe they can help us with a space. And he said, I'm on it. And he called President Goodman. And it was so quick that we were able to find a spot, a home for those 18 months over at LDS, right here, a half a mile away. And what was interesting is when we started to get together and talk and plan, we discovered a beautiful thing. 50 years ago, when the LDS was building their place, turns out that they were here. We housed them here at Temple Beth Shalom. We were their home as they were building theirs. And how appropriate 50 years later, and how grateful that we were then able to be with them so that we could rebuild ours. Rabbi Young at B'nai Tzedek said, come join us for Shabbat. And that first Shabbat was truly beautiful as your entire community welcomed us and opened your arms to us. We were definitely weeping tears of, what are we doing? And you held on to us. And every one of our community here, Congregation B'nai Tzedek, Congregation Shir Hamalot, the Wallace All Faiths Chapel at Chapman University, Temple Beth El in South Orange County gave to us Torah mantles to be able to make sure that our Torahs were carefully covered with something that was so beautiful because it was passed on from hand to hand. Temple Bat Yam opened their doors to us for B'nai Mitzvah, and of course, our regular home was at LDS. So it is my honor to call forward our community leaders to share with us these readings, 3, and also a beautiful musical piece. Rabbi David Young of Congregation B'nai Tzedek, Rabbi Rick Steinberg, Congregation Shir Hamalot, Dean Gail Stearns from the Wallace All Faiths Chapel on Chapman University, Rabbi Peter Levy, Temple Beth El of South Orange County, Rabbi Gersh Zilberman of Temple Bat Yam, President Matt Goodman, LDS Stake Center of Orange, and also Cantor Natalie Young, Temple Beth El of South Orange County. Yes, she's married to Rabbi Young of B'nai Tzedek. You can talk to them about that later. Honey, our life isn't as crazy. Cantorial soloist Jenna Sagan from Congregation B'nai Tzedek, Rabbi Chazan, Marcia Tilchin, formerly of Congregation B'nai Israel. She's a great achiever. Not only did she go for the Chazan, she went for the rabbinate as well. And cantor Aryeh Schickler of Congregation Shir HaMalot. You all... If there is one thing we all have learned, it is that we all live in one community and we can't live without each other. You are such blessings in our lives. Each one of these wonderful congregations, each one of these amazing leaders, you held our hands, you held us, you dried our tears, and you reminded us that we could be strong and that we could achieve this. We are one community, and I am so grateful to that. So if you will please, rabbis and dean and president, please lead us in this reading. Come on forward.
Even before they built this sacred space, this congregation was always composed of dedicated individuals. Therefore, this ceremony is also one of communal dedication.
May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for companionship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, and hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Let us, on this beautiful day, renew and rededicate our spirits, that we may be creators of love, of joy, and of peace.
אני אשתחווה בתורה, אברך לפני אדוני.
So, how beautiful are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. What makes their dwelling places and what makes our tents so beautiful is not only the space, but it is the people who fill the space, the people who are present. This wasn't an easy 18 months. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of patience. It took a lot of creativity. It took a lot of you, all of us, making this space so beautiful and so wonderful. And there were wonderful leaders who I'm going to introduce a few of right now to also bring greetings and acknowledgments. Our co-chairs of Return and Renewal for this day, Michelle Sugarman and Sunny Sandberg, thank you for helping us make this day a reality. Come on forward. I also would like to invite forward our immediate TBS past president, Lynn Matassaran, who she got a phone call really early in the morning on February 15th, and it was a phone call that every president dreads, a phone call of a fire. And she was here, and she held our hands, and she guided all of us, our amazing board of directors, our incredible living legacy, working in partnership with architects and construction company and so many people who we had already been talking to, but everybody came forward. And immediately we were able to get to work early on. No president signs up to have to deal with tragedy. But Lynn, you helped us through this, and you were such an amazing leader and an incredible friend. And you recently passed on that baton to now Andrea Wasserman, our current temple president, who you get the blessing of opening up this new place and welcoming everyone here. But Andrea, there's still a lot of work to be done. And that's okay, because we do it together. It is a partnership. This is a partnership of staff and leaders from the board, from our Living Legacy Committee, to all of us. We work together as one family. So Lynn and Andrea, if you too will come up and join us.
I'm a little verklempt.
Me too.
Looking out, seeing you, our family, friends, and neighbors, the support system that brought us from that devastating day in February to this day of return and renewal is both gratifying and overwhelming.
We as individuals, families, and a congregation have felt the warmth and encouragement of community during this 18-month journey. It really does take a village.
How do we say thank you? How do we measure and acknowledge generosity? From the myriad of personal gestures, many done in a spontaneous, often anonymous fashion, to the open houses of worship that welcomed us during this difficult time. You have been there for us, and we have been here for each other.
With the foresight, dedication, and determination of our Legacy Committee, we knew on February 15, 2014, where we were going to be in 2 years. But what about the next day? What about Sunday? Monica Engel and Hollis O'Brien stepped in, and our beloved Mitzvah Meals program carried on at Panache and never missed a serving.
Congregation B'nai Israel, Congregation B'nai Tzedek, Congregation Shir HaMalot, Temple Bet Yam, University Synagogue, and Wallace All Faiths Chapel of Chapman University came and welcomed us for Shabbatot and for help with the repair of our Torahs. Interfaith support was reassuring and unconditional. In the weeks and months that followed, all the TBS programs proceeded as planned.
to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Orange Stake, and the many, many volunteers under the wonderful leadership of President Matthew Goodman. You opened your home and your hearts and treated us like your family. Volunteer hosts were there for every Shabbat service and activity, including day camp, making certain our needs were met with kindness and consideration. Thank you for your care. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for your respect. And most of all, thank you for the opportunity to form a lasting bond.
Government and organizational officials have recognized this day of return and renewal and our journey to get here with resolutions, proclamations, acknowledgements, and representatives. They include Hadassah, Jewish Federation and Family Service, Assemblyman Tom Daly, the Catholic Archdiocese of Orange, Supervisor Andrew Doe, State Senator Janet Wynn, Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez, Santa Ana Mayor Miguel Paludo, and the City of Tustin.
We embrace, with our hearts and our minds and our spirits, our outstanding staff under the inspirational leadership of Rabbi Hadi Cohen, who responded with calm reassurance, an ongoing sense of hopefulness, grace under pressure, and the exhortation, Hazak, Hazak, be strong, and we will be strengthened.
Our Living Legacy Committee, who have and are pursuing our dream with insight, dedication, determination, and the unwavering belief that we will rebuild TBS.
Our sisterhood and brotherhood, working side by side, who always regard all of us as brothers and sisters. They enhance our sacred community with audacious hospitality, implementing programs that have supported us physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially.
And the TBS volunteers, who immediately answered our calls for help. They graciously, tirelessly, and generously committed themselves to making this day of return and renewal one of rededication for us all. In our tradition, it's customary to exclaim, Yasher Koach, for a job well done.
And so, to you, our family, friends, and community, for sharing your strength, generosity, love, and kindness, we exclaim, Yasher Koach.
Please join me in another round of applause for these lovely ladies who put this day together. It's been a long time since I've been blessed and had the honor to speak to you from this bema. And I don't know why Rabbi asked me to come up here, because she knows I cry all the time. And today the tears, thankfully, are tears of joy. Tears of blessing, tears of return, and tears of happiness, and looking out on all of you, all these faces, our family and friends, our congregation, as we return home to our beautiful sanctuary, our beautiful synagogue. And we couldn't have done it without our community partners. But I do remember that morning and that phone call, and I remember rushing over. And thankfully, Susie Amster was here, and she was on the ball. And she knew what she was doing, and she was taking care of business. Susie, thank you. One of the most difficult things about that morning, besides trying to figure out the extent of the damage and making sure the fire was completely out, were all of the people that were here in our parking lot, ambulance chasers, so to speak, all of the people who were throwing their business cards at me, and I was trying to decide and figure out who was it that's working on our team, and who are these people that are just showing up and handing me their business card, and who am I supposed to be talking to, and what am I supposed to be sharing with them? And it was a very confusing time. But we had a group of people, we had our architect, we had our construction company, we had Susie, we had the board of directors. Thank you all so much for the last 2 years. You've been amazing. In fact, if you're here, board of directors, would you please stand? This year, the current board and the past board from the last 2 years. Thank you all so much. And we had no time to delay. We had to get to work because there were things to be done. And the Torah study group was here, hoping to have their Torah study, but all the power was out in the buildings, both buildings, as you can imagine. And we didn't know if there was any damage that had carried over from this building to the school building. And I remember in particular speaking with Sarah Schweitz. And Sarah's a part of our choir, and she's a wonderful member of our sisterhood, and she runs our gift shop. And Sarah is a Holocaust survivor. She was a small girl with the atrocities of the Nazi regime and Hitler. And this hit a little too close to home for Sarah. And she shared with me her feelings that day, and she was in tears, and I remember crying with her and speaking with her and sending her all the heartfelt thoughts that I could of hope and renewal that we would reach this day, and we did, didn't we, Sarah? And the thing that we talked about was how did this happen, and we didn't know yet because we hadn't had the definitive determination. Was this an act of terrorism? Was this a hate crime? Or was this merely an accident? And thanks to God, it was an accident. It wasn't something of a hate crime or something that Sarah had been through before with Nazi Germany. And the other piece that we were so thankful for is that when the fire occurred, no one was in the building and no one was injured. And so we got to work, and the firemen came out of the building, and they told us that the damage looked like it was around, in the kitchen, and it looked like it was around, $250,000 worth of damage. So they were off by, $3.5 million. And the board of directors had a decision to make. Do we move forward and bring the synagogue back to what it was before? Do we take the insurance money and recreate like for like? Or do we move forward with our project that was already underway, our Living Legacy project? Do we move forward and build what you see today, this beautiful, beautiful building? And over the months and months of labor and work, it was indeed many people who worked so hard. It was a labor of love, and it has paid off big time for all of us, not just in returning to our building, but in the friendships that we've made with all of you fine folks that were just up here a moment ago. And on a personal note, my son's bar mitzvah was 1 month following the fire. And we were devastated, just as many of you were impacted by b'nai mitzvahs in your family. We were devastated that we were not going to see our son standing on this bima before our beautiful ark. And we reached out to the LDS Stake Center in our community of Irvine where we live. And they said, you're welcome. Come, have your service here. Have your celebration here. And they welcomed us with open arms, and we made new friends with a congregation of LDS in Irvine as well. So it's very far-reaching. This community gives together and to take care of each other. And as we think about this and how we've done and how we've come together to say everything that you've done to make this day a reality, let's hope and pray that across our country and across the world, that we can be a representation of all the good that exists, all the good in the world, that people who care for each other, who care about others, even of a different religion, who come to the rescue, who look out for us, who embrace us, and who hold us in their arms. And thank God that we're all here together, safe and sound. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming today. Before I move on with my remarks, I would like to offer special thanks to the Living Legacy Committee, who've dedicated many, many hours to bring us to where we are right now. Susie Amster, Stuart Einbinder, Harvey Grossberg, Bernie Horowitz, Jeff Mirko, Jerry Rothblum, Elaine Schwartz, Dan Weisberg, Linda Weisberg, and Jeff Winston. Please stand. Return and renewal. Return us, Lord, unto you, and we shall return. Renew our days as in days of old. That's from Lamentations 5:21. Unhitched from our sanctuary building for the past 18 months, we have been displaced long enough, and today we begin the journey home. As we return to the warm embrace of our synagogue, we are returning to the melodies, the foods, the faces, the traditions of which we are so familiar, a sort of homecoming, which is, of course, precisely the sentiment we should be filled with at this moment. As a community of faith, of memory, and of hope, we come together to affirm the core values that unite us as a congregation. This is a time of change and transformation, and a rediscovery of the best within us. Return and renewal offers us an opportunity to make a fresh start and a new beginning. And it is important to remember that no matter what plans or resolutions we make, life may intervene and take us in an unexpected direction. The ability to be flexible is one of the keys to contentment and happiness. If we can change course gracefully, knowing that some of our plans will succeed and some will not, we can find peace in any circumstance. Our TBS clergy, staff, lay leaders, families, and students have proven this to be true over the last year and a half. I thank each and every one of you for your flexibility, creativity, perseverance, and patience you have shown. Returning home is your reward for all of your efforts. Thank you.
We've spoken about the community, we've spoken about the amazing lay leadership that we have here. But let me tell you about an incredible staff, because without them, we don't exist. And I am so blessed with the partnership of each and every one of our Temple Beth Shalom staff members. So I'd like to introduce and have them come forward, including somebody who's traveled many thousands of miles to be here, then just moved about another couple thousand miles away, but it's a lot closer than where you were. Our Rabbi Emeritus, Rabbi Shelley Donnell. Will you first come join me? It's good to have you back in this time zone. And I know that this was an unexpected visit today, so forgive me for not having your name in the brochure. But we are so grateful to have you, our Rabbi Emeritus, and the wonderful rabbi who I call mentor, friend, Papu, who you have been here to be my teacher and also a shoulder to cry on and to say, help. And I am grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the gift that you have also bestowed upon me, which is this wonderful congregation. And so, thank you very, very much. My clergy partner, Cantor David Reinwald. Whose voice inspires us and takes us to amazing places, who is there for me in every moment that we are in. Thank you for your love and your support of always being my clergy partner in so many ways. For our Director of Congregational Learning, Jody Kaufman, who brings to us learning not just for our children, but also for our entire community. And she actually has been teaching me for many, many years. And also our director of our preschool, of our wonderful young children, Pam Ranta, come forward. You get them at the very beginning to inspire them. Our executive director, Bill Shane. You are the newest voice who welcomes everybody and gives a wonderful tour and welcomes everyone definitely with audacious hospitality. And of course, our support, and also a wonderful woman too who keeps all the numbers in check. Pam Huber keeps our numbers balanced, and our amazing support that keeps us remembering who called us when, who to call back, what's the schedule, all of those amazing tasks. Cindy Dubrow, Marla Votter, Jill Weinthal, if you all will join us as well. So we have a blessing on, it's reading number 4, that our staff will come gather around all the way around over here, guys, so you can have you can all have the bima there. There you go. Rabbi Danel, if you will begin us, please.
You shall love the eternal God with all your mind, with all your strength, and with all your being.
Temple Beth Shalom is a house filled with diverse people joined together in love and purpose.
Set these words which I command you upon your heart.
Temple Beth Shalom is a house of prayer that wells up from our hearts.
Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up.
Temple Beth Shalom is a house of learning to teach our children we must learn ourselves.
Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes.
Temple Beth Shalom is a house of gathering for those striving to feel with more than hands, seeking to see with more than eyes.
Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Temple Beth Shalom is a house of affection, letting the sensitivities we find within ourselves the sanctuary by our relationship with those around us.
Be mindful of all my commandments and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God.
Commandments are deeds, mitzvot are behavior. As a congregation we come together, and as individuals we find in our congregation an inspiration for living. Absolutely. We know we cannot do it alone, and truly each and every one of these amazing people who stood here on this bima We don't exist without you. I don't exist without you. Thank you so much for the gifts of everything that you are and everything that you are yet to be. So what do we do when we dedicate a sanctuary and when we dedicate a home? Forgive me, those of you who are streaming in, you're not going to see me for a while, but you'll hear me. We're doing this. Because now we're going to place our mezuzah on the doorposts of our house. Robin and Larry Kaplan, will you please come and join me right here at the doorpost of our house? You guys can stay seated. There you go. Or you can stand if you want to and watch. That's okay too. So, you're going to stay right there. Don't worry. So this is called Chanukah Tabayit. This is called, Chanukah means dedication, rededication. That's where that comes from. Chanukah Tabayit is to dedicate our home with placing a mezuzah on the doorposts of our house. That's what the commandment teaches us to do. And that's what we're going to do right now. And there will be many more mezuzot that will be around our congregation. We are excited to be able to share that with you as well in the days and the weeks ahead. But for now, Larry and Robin, we all are going to join together with this reading number 5. The synagogue has long been the dwelling place of the Jewish spirit. It is written, when words of Torah pass between us, the divine presence is in our midst. Our doors have been opened to the stranger and the needy. May these spaces we now consecrate keep alive the beauty of our heritage. May the divine spirit fill these rooms, the spirit of love and kindness and consideration for all people. And may you who have made this possible be blessed with joy, happiness, and fulfillment. Jessu Ruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kiddushanu B'mitzvotav Vitzivanu Likboa Mezuzah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, eternal soul of the universe, who has made us holy by the commandments and commanded us to affix this mezuzah. If you will take this, please. Right here. Yep. Yasher koach, mazel tov. Thank you. Yay. You did. It's perfect. Give it a, there you go. Can I just give you that? So, you can be seated right over here. And you can be seated back here. So here we are in this wonderful house, in this sanctuary that we lovingly call the Alan and Sandy Feinbarg Family Sanctuary. Sandy, I know that Alan is not here with us, but he is. He is in our hearts, and he is so present, and we feel it. And we are so grateful to you. Thank you. And she agrees. Yay. These aisles are ones that will carry each person and each family from the beginning, from birth, when the child is named. The family carries their child down this aisle to the bima to be welcomed into the community. These aisles hold the children who carry the Torah with them when they become bar and bat mitzvah. And they carry the scroll as a reminder that we are here and they are walking into the future with that scroll, and we are here for a long time. And especially now that our youth, they carry our Shoah scroll, our Holocaust scroll, during those hakafot. Because at one point, there were people who wanted to destroy us. There were people who said, we don't want you here anymore. And when they tried to destroy us, they took our scrolls from their sanctuaries and they put them into a warehouse, hoping that someday, when the Jewish people no longer existed, that they would be able to have a museum to the people who were no longer here. But we are still here. And so these aisles, they are here as these children, these young adults carry that Torah scroll as a reminder that Torah is safe and moving into the future of next generation. This aisle is an aisle that a bride and a groom come down as they approach this space in which they are able to stand underneath the chuppah and start a new life together. To stand under there to say, I have found my besheret, I have found the one whom I am meant to be with, and to start it all over again, God willing, that someday they will bring a child down this aisle again with a naming. And yes, this aisle also, it accompanies those in death. It accompanies those who we remember, who we honor, we memorialize. A casket carefully placed, a family who mourns and remembers, a family who walks behind their loved one as they exit through this aisle. These aisles, they are filled with life. They are filled with the cycle of life from birth to B'nai Mitzvah, to confirmation, to graduation, to weddings, to birth again, and yes, to remembrance. These aisles are filled with blessings. But the best blessing of all is when each and every one of you, when every single person, young and old, who can walk, who cannot walk, who can dance, who can sing, who maybe cannot walk, but is there coming down these aisles, you bring these blessings to this place. You fill this place with blessings. This is only brick and mortar, but this is a holy place because of you. Every single person who is in this space and who will come into this space, you make this place holy. You fill it with blessings.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך כן יהי רצון. יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך כן יהי רצון. יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום כן יהי רצון. Join in with me on these yellow lives. Ya la 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 la.
May God bless you and watch over you.
Ya la ya la 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 la.
May God's light shine on you, in you, and through you, and be gracious to you.
Ya la 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 la.
May God's presence always be with you, and may God grant you a life filled with shalom, with peace.
כן יהי רצון.
May we all be filled with blessings today, tomorrow, and forever. And let us say, Amen. So, of course, we have to do a closing song in a moment. And we're going to put our arms around each other, because that's what we do. But not yet. First, this is the cue for our 12 designated ONEG committee members to be dismissed to their stations. But as they are starting to make their way to their stations, I want to thank the entire setup committee. You were all so amazing for making this happen today. And then, of course, after our closing song together, we're going to invite the entire congregation to join us for a festive ONEG. And, of course, what would any good event be without food? But thank you all for participating in that and for bringing your sweetness to this. And so after the closing song, everyone who is sitting in the pews, you will head to the living room for the ONEG, which is to my right, your left. If you're in the social hall, you will head to the library or the boardroom, which is to my left, your right. I'm going to tell you right now, the ONEGs are exactly the same. I know, you want to go shopping. They're all the same. Denise Stevens was amazing in helping organize all of that and making sure. She counted every cookie to make sure they were totally the same. That was you. Yay! So I'm going to invite you now. Go ahead, please stand. Put your arms around somebody next to you. If you don't know who they are, say hello. Introduce yourself. And let us join together with a beautiful Oh Say Shalom. Oh Say Shalom. Bimrama. Huya Say Shalom. Hallelujah. Ve'akol Yisrael ve'yimeru. Oh, say shalom bimrama. Hallelujah, say shalom. Hallelujah, ve'akol Yisrael ve'yimeru. Amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Huya say shalom. Hallelujah. Ve'akol Yisrael ve'yimeru. Amen. Oh, say shalom bimrama. Huya say shalom. Hallelujah. Ve'akol Yisrael ve'yimeru. Amen. Bruchim atem b'voachem, bruchim atem b'tzeitechem mi'ata v'ad olam. Blessed were you in coming into this place of worship, and blessed may we be as we go forward in health and happiness and joy. And let us say, Amen. Yasher koach, everyone. Mazel tov.